Hi, ignore my hair and my forehead wrinkles. I just got out of the shower. Um, and then I got all my stuff. I made Milo. I did a serving size of Milo with a serving of folders and agave. This agave was given to me. So she said she didn't like it. She thought it was honey and she got that, so she gave it to me. So I'm drinking that and my coffee, and I'm trying. Where did I put the creamer? I have the creamer here somewhere. I'm just looking for it. I found it. It's right in front of me. I've got, and maybe if I do that, it's nut pod creamer. Sorry, I have the camera facing me on my phone. I have nut pod creamer. This is coconut almond. One of my favorite flavors of like almost anything is coconut and almond. So I grabbed this one because I've never tried it before, but I figured it would be a better protein content for my coffee because I need protein. I have soy milk just in case, but I know that has protein in it, so I'm drinking that with my coffee, and then I made water. And then I filled my thermos up with water, hot water. I just had to heat it up in the microwave. And this because our hot water, um, we have like water dispensers on each floor, and then they give us on the first floor, they give us food in like microwavable trays. It's not, it's not the best food, but it's not. Some of it's inedible. Like if you were starving, you could eat it, but it's not something people with diabetes and stuff like that should be eating every day. It's really not. But this, I heated my water up in this. I like this because I can feel it on the sides and I know how many ounces it is. I mean, I'm blind, but then I also have these for the measurements, so I know which measurement it is. And if I take it off of the rings, I can give a new measurement. I can put it back in the same place because I can feel the size difference. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it goes up to a cup. Yeah, there's a cup, half a cup. That's a fourth of a cup. This is a third. This is 1/3, which is what I use for this size cup. With my Milo, I use 1/3. So I have a serving of Milo left, which would be 1/3 of a cup because I'm using a container that's over 14 ounces. But I have it not just Milo. I mix it with almond milk, or sometimes I'll make my own almond milk, so I'll add almond butter or something with protein to it because I love Milo. It does give me caffeine, but I have to have caffeine or I will not wake up. My body doesn't respond the way that other people's does because one, I have hypoglycemia and I was in a coma. So my brain doesn't respond without caffeine. So I'm supposed to be on a medication for my heart because my heart stops beating every day. But they refuse to give us medical care. I haven't eaten food yet. I wanted to make my coffee. And I was looking at what I wanted to eat. But I go feed the birds every day. So I got the leftovers. They let me get it every day. I get breakfast, lunch, and dinner, whatever's left over. And then I go feed it. Sometimes I go, because the trash can's right outside my door. Here, outside the door. I'm at the window. It's right outside here. But the trash can for this floor is right out there. So I'm in my chair. I haven't been able to stand up yet this morning, so this was the first time I was able to stand up, and I got right in the shower because I passed out last night and I wasn't able to take a shower. I ate dinner and passed out because I did too much yesterday and I did it all by myself. I did. Uh, the person that they are sending as a care aide, my boxers and stuff that I wear to sleep in. I don't know about other women, but I don't usually wear underwear. I sleep in my boxers. She puts her hands like in the seat of my boxers, and she touches like my clothing. It's making me very uncomfortable. I feel like my boxers are violated. I will not be wearing those again. Um, Bleach ain't gonna get rid of that. Okay. I feel very uncomfortable. She's tried to push me in front of a car twice, and she tried to push me into a set of pallet racks for a forklift. So it's like those wooden pallets that be on the bottom of like boxes and stuff when you're picking it up with a forklift. She tried to push me into a thing of those, and I'm blind, so I can't even see the person that's doing this to me. I'm just seeing a blur. And it's very disrespectful and abusive. But then again, like most everyone in America is, they really are. You try to explain that you're blind, like I am, and they're like, "Oh, you're schizophrenic for being blind." That's well, I don't know where you're medically licensed, but that's illegal. I have medical documentation of my eyesight. I would, however, be able to drive a car and fly my plane. I just need an eye patch and corrective lenses. It doesn't work for my left eye because I'm blind in my left eye. But my right eye, I can see partial vision, so I would just need to cover my left eye. Sometimes I literally wear tape over it to keep the light out of my eye. I will walk around with duct tape over my eye because, or medical tape. I prefer medical tape, but I'll put duct tape over it if there's nothing else because it hurts. Light makes me have seizures, so if it's too bright and I can't see, I'm gonna die. But then again, that's the predatory intention of 86% of the hostage situation that we're in this, hostage situation. I would even call it a country because we're hostages. Some people really are paranoid schizophrenics. They really are. There are people that rape children and then get offended when you confront them about being child molesters. There's people that get offended when you confront them because they did something and they can't admit to what they did. Some of them are sociopathic and have a split personality. You're not crazy. They're wearing body prosthetics. The same way you sitting there saying that they're cosplaying, they are wearing body prosthetics. They're wearing makeup to change their skin color. You are not crazy. You're not hallucinating. They are serial killers. Some of them are cannibals, and they are doing other things too. I was raped at a hospital, asked for help, and they allowed the person that raped me into the hospital room, and he raped me at the hospital while I was pregnant, and it was documented. And I asked for help, and they raped me. Every time I've ever asked for help in my life, I'm physically tortured, sedated, unconscious, or I'm raped. I've never done that to anyone in my life. I don't owe anyone money. I've never been to the mafia or the mob for any type of financial anything. I don't owe them money. I'm one of the people that go to them with a job offering, though, for like actual work with receipt of payment for tax documents. So, like, instead of being audited by the IRS, I give them documentation that they had an actual job with receipts. I actually have an accountant that's Russian. That's why I'm sitting there like I was just trying to go home to my children and my animals on my land, make my marinara, and do my taxes while I make sure that my children are fed and have a safe, warm bed to sleep in with clean clothes. I'm someone's mom. I don't know why your hallucination tried to convince you of something else. I really don't. I don't. I mean, I get it. People think that I'm ugly, but that's their problem, right? I can't really see my face the way that you can see my face. So whatever it is about my face that makes you so like nauseated or that sends you into like this mental disruption, just don't look at my face. Look somewhere else. Find something else to look at. If you can actually see, don't look at my face. Whatever it is about my face, just don't look at it. It's my face. I've never had a real dentist. I've had like serial killers and medical malpractice. I don't owe the mob money. I don't owe the mafia money. I'm not in financial debt. You cannot go to an auditing office and tell them that you have financial debt from me. Baby, where? I don't borrow money. I don't go to loan offices. That don't make sense. I don't borrow money. It makes me uncomfortable when I'm outside and someone just gives me money. If I'm sleeping on the street, which I've done, I've never walked up to someone and asked them, please give me money. I ask them to get me something to eat so that they can have receipt that they got something to eat. There's a difference. Just buying someone food and taking that receipt, that's taxes. I don't believe in that stuff. No. And then it makes me feel funny because I have to ask someone to get me something to eat, which I'd rather dig out of a garbage can because I respect myself and other people. Never in my life was prostitution, in your own words, or any type of soliciting my body for rape, a form of financial income. Never in my life. You can't even get tax documents on it. You do realize that, right? Not that there's anyone that would ever want any part of my body for anything other than physical torture and vaginal mutilation. Like nothing. There is nothing about anything that I have that would be attractive in any way that's any form of anything other than physical torture and rape. I can prove it. Even the thought of my existence without being raped and physically tortured is some type of criminal affront to schizophrenic. And that's what I call them because they are schizophrenic. They believe we are slaves. They believe we are slaves. They have no self-respect. They have no consideration. They believe we are slaves. They believe we're slaves. I just want my children safe. My son's name is Japan. My other sons, that is their legal name on their birth documents. His legal name is Japan. My other son's name is Beijing. That's my son's name. The other one I'm talking about, that's my daughter's name. I was saying, I'm not going to say which one that is, but that's my daughter's name. Those two are adults. My children, regardless of how they're my children, they're my children. I have every ethnicity and skin color on the planet. They're just my kids. And they are legally my children. Regardless of how they're my children, they are mine. I'm not the person that believes children are slaves. I've never cosplayed anything in my life. I would never put on someone's uniform and pretend to be that person. I have my own uniform. I'm a licensed black beret. I'm part of the reason that we have black berets in the armed forces. They don't even understand what black berets mean and why we have different services that have black berets for their uniform. I'm part of the reason we have black berets. And somehow that just makes me repulsive for even existing or having any intellectual capability because I'm not being physically tortured and raped to death. I don't understand. You don't talk to me like a person. You have no communication skills whatsoever. We've never been in a relationship. I have a whole husband. No, yes, I do. My husband forgot I was his wife, so I paid all of his medical bills. I did it for my husband's medical bills and then for our children because we do have children together. My husband forgot I was his wife. It happens. Some people go through things medically. I paid my husband's medical bills. He's not a soldier, I am. I paid my husband's medical bills. I'm fully aware of how mentally unstable some people are. They were giving us injections and they chose certain people and they're trying to make human video games. And they want us to be manipulated remotely. Like Sims and some other form of game, but I don't understand all of it because I don't do anything like that. But apparently, they're using something with the electrodes in our brain, and we have neurotransmitters that they somehow got into our body. Probably injections because that's how they got them into me. They said that. And they're using it to manipulate our bodies. Some of us don't have control over anything that we're doing because someone else is fully manipulating our body, and I can prove it. I personally have a PhD, and I know other people that have PhDs as well. Excuse me, I'm burped. They were giving us injections, whether we wanted them or not, because they see us as slaves. The people that are trying to help with legitimate medical degrees and medical licensing, most of them are foreign. All they have to do is go through a certification course, and because they are licensed in a foreign country with with a PhD from a foreign country, they're eligible to work here in America. But there's different laws for medical practitioners in America, so they have to go through American certifications to work in American hospitals or universities. Because if you have a PhD, you can get a job as a professor. I was supposed to work with Harvard. I don't do Harvard. I don't do slavery. I don't believe in disrespecting people. I don't know. I quietly got a PhD because of how disrespectful and abusive some people are in this hostage situation. I'm not legally, and it's per my contract, I'm not legally allowed to say what universities I worked with to get my PhD, but I will say I don't do Harvard. I do not do slavery. I don't do Harvard. I was supposed to work. I'm one of those people that they would ask to come speak at Harvard. No. After what they did, no. I don't do Harvard. I wouldn't waste my money. They couldn't pay me to go to Harvard. I just want my children and I want to leave with my children. We more worried about a hot meal, a safe place to lay our head that's not radioactive from nuclear radiation because they're here because I called them with real information and documentation. We're radioactive, so we're gonna have to go through it's a hazmat system, but you know those big bubbles that they put over like places and they're like, oh, you can't go in there, it's toxic, and then they'll have like those symbols that say it's radioactive. That's America right now. I'm just gonna level with you. America's radioactive from toxic radiation. Real toxic radiation from unlicensed experiments and unlicensed manufacturing of recycled products with unlicensed experiments. It's not that they weren't they knew what they were doing. They're using foreign products and not knowing where those foreign products are made. Even if it's a small amount of radiation, it's in the water, it's in the clothing, it's in the shoes, it's in the concrete, it's in the metals that they're using in these buildings, it's in the food that we're eating. That amount of radiation, no matter how small, adds up. Even if it's in small quantities, in separate places, we're surrounded by radioactive materials. We're dying. And women are getting the brunt of it because our bodies are trying to protect our ovaries. I paid my husband's hospital bills. He forgot I was his wife, so I paid his hospital bills. I'm not legally obligated to tell people anything about my life. My life is not a TV show. My children's lives are not TV shows. That is not our legal obligation. We are not legally obligated to your mental illness, to your schizophrenia, to your rape, your child molestation, or your want of slaves. That's what we not gonna do. I've never been in a gang in my life. I'm a soldier. My legal occupation is the military. I don't know who told them you cannot enlist and you will not be recruited and you cannot enlist. You can't walk into um, a recruitment office and say, "Look, I have all this stuff and I'm good at this, but I think I'm a man and I'm trans," and you cannot walk in there and be like that. And they're gonna know. You can't walk in there and say that you're a man and you have a whole vagina. You cannot do that. You cannot walk in there and be like, "Oh, I wear a strap on and I feel like I'm a man." That is not how you get into any armed forces whatsoever. That's how you get bodied. And bodied means dead. You playing with them like they will not kill you. I don't know who told you that self-defense was illegal. It's most assuredly not. I hired security for my children because they're legally obligated to protect my children. They're children. They cannot defend themselves. I hired both foreign and domestic security for my children. You got too close to one of my children. It's over. I don't go to clubs. I'm not a TV show. If I'm supposedly an actor in a TV show, where's the contract with an entertainment company? And where's my monetary benefits or payment? Slavery is not a TV show. You do realize that, right? They only celebrate rape. They believe everyone else is supposed to be a slave for rape. Some people are mentally unstable like that. They're not racist. Those other ones, they're racist, but they're not racist. I know some of them personally, just like my son. My son's not racist. One has Down syndrome, and the other one he's autistic. He is not racist. His brain is not capable of any sociopathic or narcissistic response whatsoever. His brain is not capable of being psychotic. He's autistic. He's bigger than Andre the Giant. He's just quieter. And I'm his legal guardian. The other part, I beat the shit out of someone and they gave me the evidence and they gave me the information. I went to every address they gave me about my son. I woke up from a coma and I went to every address. I started breaking into every building I could get. You got my son in there. I found other children. I found a 4-year-old little girl that had been brutally tortured and raped, similar to what I went through. Her mother gave birth to her in a cargo container. She was an unregistered or undocumented birth with almost 100 other people. She was just rocking back and forth, screaming rape, 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 rape. She was singing it like someone had done something. I don't know what happened. I couldn't get it out of her. I thought she was I thought she was a 1 to 2 year at 2 years old at most. I thought she was 2 years old. She was 4. Those Facebook people don't believe in employment. They want slaves. Those Instagram people for the sure want slaves. They want sex slaves. There's a Russian website that documents everything. Those Instagram people want sex slaves. I don't do Instagram. I don't work for them. I don't believe in slavery. He's my son. Some of my children adopted me. I'm their mom. They're not just randomly calling me mom. They're my children. Some of them are adults. Some of them are older than me, but they're legally mine. I bought my children. It's not illegal to adopt people. They're legally mine. They are legally my children by adoption. They're legally mine. I bought them. They're legally mine. I bought the land, I bought the country, and I bought the land. They took my husband, I bought the country. And I bought my children. I found evidence of every country they took eggs from my ovaries to, and the people that they made and fertilized embryos with, and there's children from each of those countries. Some of them are biologically my children. Others, I paid for them and I adopted them. They're not slaves. They're legally my adopted children. I legally adopted an entire country of people. Two. I bought 2 countries and the land and I adopted the people. I don't do slavery. You're looking for those Facebook people. I don't do slavery. I just want my children back. I want to go home. I want to make my marinara. I want to make my sauce and I want to go home.